many years ago to pursue acting, and I've only made a couple of movies in the entire time that I was there. So to be able to give my kids a better life and follow and pursue their dreams, whether it be my daughter as an equestrian, my son as a basketball player, my youngest son as a golfer, this made a lot more sense for us.
To give my kids a better life, he said, Pete.
Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, Hollywood, it's like education. The higher education has a cartel. They defend themselves. They want to be the gatekeepers. Same thing with Hollywood. It's been the gatekeeper and the cartel. You had to go there in order to participate. That's all changed. I mean, you can create content, eminent content from anywhere, which means you get to choose your quality of life and where you want to be. And with what Democrats and Gavin Newsom have done to California, why would you want to be there if you don't have to be there with a bunch of other smug, self-important people? Move where you want to be for a quality of life and create content. I mean, that's where we live in a whole new world when it comes to media these days.
That's right. And policies, Jackie, economic policies have real economic impacts.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why these guys are moving outside of Las Vegas, where the attraction of the policies there are very important and appealing to Mark Wahlberg. He's talked about building a big studio there, to your point, creating his content, and also a factory for a shoe company that he's launched. I mean, the reality is, for an entrepreneur, for anyone with any type of economic aspirations, Nevada is the place to be over California.
Oh, absolutely. And what's brilliant about it is that it's so close. If he has to go there, he just hops a plane. He can do a day trip or whatever he wants to do. But having said that, also Nevada happens to be one of those states without a state personal income tax, right? We talk about Florida all the time, but there's that aspect of it. So I'm not surprised that he wants to start all of these ventures and whatnot. And then you add the quality of life into it, and it makes total sense. But these are celebrities. These are people who are fleeing policies that are not just obviously hurting them, but hurting everybody else. And they're sort of speaking up for everyone in the community when they make a statement like this. So I'm glad that they're doing it. And I'm glad that they're showing everybody that's okay. We saw it during the pandemic. We've seen it after. And there are consequences to these policies, Gavin Newsom. Yes.
Yeah, and your perspective, Kennedy, because you have such a Southern California presence as well as Oregon, where we've seen that sort of the opposite magnetism effect, obviously New York as well.
Yeah, go Bruins, 4's up. Well, you're 6-0 UCLA Bruins, I'll take it. Yeah, because people like Mark Wahlberg, they're lucky because they can move to a different state. They've got the mobility. There are a lot of people who are stuck in California who can't move. They don't have the money to fight for the U-Hauls, which are few and far between, to get out of the state. But yeah, it used to be a place where the industry was concentrated, and to your point, it's now diffused. It's not necessarily concentrated in one place. There's still a lot of great people in California who would love to live the California dream. It is an absolute nightmare now. I mean, everything from the bullet train to sanctioning doctors who have conversations that are non-traditional with their patients. They are now being censured by the California Medical Board if they dare have these conversations. And that is the overbearing nanny state. And they're lucky they got out. The thing about the pandemic, people went to other parts of the country and went, oh, there's so much here. There's so much to love. What am I doing on the coast?
Right. And there, the political elites, Kaylee, just see that dumpster fire behind them. They don't care because all they see are voters and their own political aspirations in the future. But to Kennedy's point, what is left behind, what is in rubble, are those minority communities, the vulnerable, those disadvantaged who can't rise up out of that. They are stuck there. I see it a lot actually in California in the Bay, where these homes that are so deeply steeped in equity, but the homeowners don't have the capital to renovate, to upkeep. So they literally look terrible, these big homes like in the Bay, because they're simply unable to afford to do anything other than stay there. They're paralyzed. And people like Gavin Newsom, Governor Gavin Newsom, doesn't seem to care.
Totally. You're overtaxed. You get no return on your investment. I mean, you go in the streets and you get mugged because crime is just horrible. You get COVID lockdowns, your church shut down, your place of business shut down. It's why you've seen the top states that you've moved to are Florida, Texas, North Carolina. The ones that have been moved away from are California, New York, Illinois. Do they have a commonality? Yes, the commonality is blue. You know, we talk about defund the police. This is defunding liberalism, and I love it. People are marching with their feet. I'm not giving my tax dollars here. Defund liberalism, fund conservatism. Well done.
And we saw a lot of the congressional seats change, right, as those populations changed, and it's just going to increase. All right, coming up, climate activists pull another shocking stunt, throwing soup all over one of Vincent van Gogh's most famous paintings. Is this any way to win hearts and minds? In case you missed it, is next. Oh, could you just imagine?
ABCs of CKD. A is for awareness, because knowing that your chronic kidney disease and type 2 diabetes could progress to dialysis is important. B is for belief that there may be more you can do. Just remember that K is for kidneys and Kerendia. For adults living with CKD and type 2 diabetes, Kerendia is proven to reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis. Kerendia is a once-daily tablet that treats CKD differently than type 2 diabetes medications to help slow the progression of kidney damage and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events, such as heart attacks. Do not take Kerendia if you have problems with your adrenal glands or take certain medications called CYP3A4 inhibitors. Kerendia can cause hyperkalemia, which is high potassium levels in your blood. Ask your doctor before taking products containing potassium. Kerendia can also cause low blood pressure and low sodium levels. So now that you know your ABCs, remember K is for kidneys. And if you need help slowing kidney damage, ask your doctor about Kerendia.
There's been a lot of misinformation about Camp Lejeune claims. If you're confused or if you want answers, we can help. We are Keller Postman, and more Marines and their families have chosen us for their Camp Lejeune claims than any other law firm. We are Marines, West Point grads, and Harvard-trained lawyers, and we've worked at the highest levels of government. We have the experience and resources to help you finally get the justice you deserve. When you're ready, call us 800-800-4220. That's 800-800-4220.
My name is Joshua Florence, and one thing I learned being a firefighter is plan ahead. You don't know what you're getting into, but at the end of the day, you know you have a team behind you that can help you. Not having to worry about the future makes it possible to make the present as best as it can be for everybody.
The state of America's economy. Get the big picture from inflation and recession fears to jobs.
Work has become the enemy.
Mike Rowe is sounding off tonight on Hannah.
For adventure. For climbing. For splashing. For towing. For premium. For capable. The GMC AT4 lineup, premium and capable. That's professional grade from GMC. Where current eligible lessees can get this low mileage lease on this 2022 Sierra Elevation for around $469 per month. We are professional grade GMC.
After a truck hit me, my attorneys now at the Barnes firm got me $5 million. 5 times more than insurance offered.
What's your case really worth? Call now and find out.
Call 1-800-8-million.
My attorneys now at the Barnes firm settled my job accident case for 65 times more than insurance said they'd pay. Glad I called.
What's your case really worth? Call now and find out.
Call 1-800-8-million.
Custom designing your diamond ring just got easy and affordable with flash design service at the showroom on Union. Forget sketches, animations, or clumsy catalogs. You choose the size and shape of your diamond and the style and color of your setting. Try it on your hand instantly, hundreds of combinations. And once you decide, you'll have it in days, not weeks. Or we can remount your diamond into a fresh new setting in a flash at the showroom on Union, where a really great custom flash design doesn't cost an arm and a leg.
Here we go. Brand new numbers on the economy just in. Jerry Baker from the Wall Street Journal is here to react. Plus, President Biden's White House blaming oil companies for high prices. The head of one of those companies joins us live to respond. And just days to Election Day, our political panel weighs in on key races to watch. Come join us on this Friday afternoon as America Reports, top of the hour.
I love you. I got no regrets. I love you much too to hide you. This love ain't finished yet.
Welcome back. It's time for In Case You Missed It. A reminder that cheaters never prosper. A fishing tournament made headlines a couple of weeks ago when 2 fishermen were accused of stuffing their catch with lead sinkers.
Don't we need to file a police report? Yeah, I would. Jason, we got to file a police report.
And now they've been charged on multiple felony counts, including attempted grand theft, possessing criminal tools, and misdemeanor charges of unlawfully owning wild animals. The prize they lost out on, more than $28,000. Emily, we indict these guys on felonies, but not the guys who are killing people and doing things like that.
Totally. The horrible double standard aside, this is a real deal, and they should absolutely be prosecuted for this. Imagine if this type of betting and gambling manipulation had occurred in any other industry, right? People would have been up in arms. So the fact that, too, it was so traceable and palpable, that video is amazing as they're slicing open the fish and like whole weights are coming out. And these guys had been champions of a lot of prior tournaments. So yes, absolutely. I'm glad they were finally caught. Cheaters never prosper.
I mean, Pete, who does this? This is crazy.
A lot of people, but
a lot of people.
I mean, in different contexts. No, but I love something like this, a smaller industry with a high ethos of integrity.
That's right.
It's like, we do this and we do it right and we do it well, and if you're going to cheat, we're going to hold you accountable.
Yeah.
We need a lot more of that in a lot
Stuff
of
you
other
with
bigger
weights.
industries.
That's what we do, Kennedy.
I will.
No, I mean, I thought it was kind of brilliant. Like, I was surprised that more people hadn't done this before. I was like, yeah, put the weights inside. But then I realized, like, it was $28,000. So when I go to the state fair, I shove a bunch of weights in my cargo pants. So the weight guesser is off by a good 20 pounds.
Oh, that's
very brilliant.
Or it's fraud.
Oh, maybe I'm the outlier here. I do think they went to incredible lengths to do this, and I don't think they should get the prize money, and they should be made an example out of. But felony charges to me seems like a lot for this, especially Kaylee, in the environment.
I agree.
Where there's a lot more going on, and we could prosecute other crimes in court. That's my personal.
There's room for multiple prosecutions. I have to say, one of the reasons why they knew that why it was suspicious is everyone else donates their fish to the food banks. And these guys wouldn't, because they knew that the sum was paltry. Exactly.
And they don't want people eating lead. Good for them. That's nice of them, I guess. All right, climate activists or crazies at it again. This time, 2 young protesters throwing soup at Vincent van Gogh's Sunflowers, which hangs in London's National Gallery. Thankfully, it's protected by glass.
Oh, thank God.
The protesters then glued themselves to the wall below the famous painting. I mean, these climate crazies, what is going on, Kennedy?
We need to shove weights inside of them so they realize the heaviness of their crimes. I'm so sick of these people. They make me want to drive a V8 and eat meat. Like, every time I see them, all wrapped cheeseburger, because they make me want to do the opposite of whatever they believe in. I think they're empty-headed losers.
Right, it's counterproductive. Like, who says, yes, you threw the tomato soup, I'm in?
When I first saw the story, I thought, this is terrible. Then you just read there's glass on it?
Yes.
So they did nothing.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, they're going to wipe it off with some Windex, and the Van Gogh's going to be fine.
Yes.
So they're actually, in addition to being stupid, they're not effective.
They did damage the frame, Emily.
They did, and also the wall. I would have loved to see a security guard tackle both of them, because clearly they've never understood what it's like to be accountable for their actions or to not be hailed as a champion for some type of childlike and childish theme. Look at them, they're like 12. If I had done that when I was 12, do you know what would have happened to me? Exactly.
I would have gotten the wooden spoon.
Jackie, who's worse, the lead fishers or the Van Gogh supers?
I think the Van Gogh guys are worse. Their intent is really bad to destroy, a work of art there. Luckily, the museums are wisening up. I think this happened with the Mona Lisa with cake, and they smeared, but there was plexiglass there too, and so you can't destroy. They're trying to make a statement, but again, wokeism, we live in this culture where these statements then are rewarded in some way, and so people feel encouraged to do them. Luckily, they weren't able to destroy that.
Glue their hands to a prison cell.
Yeah, ugh, gross. Could virtual reality make the virtual workspace an actual reality? Meta this week rolling out its most advanced, widely available VR glasses. The price tag for the headset, $1,500. The company's end goal is a complete corporate transformation and a fully virtual workplace. Pete, I prefer the Elon Musk approach. If factory workers can show up, you guys can too. Get to work.
So they envision a future where we all go to work wearing goggles.
Yeah.
And then I don't get to sit next to you.
Nope.
I get to sit alone and pretend like I'm sitting next to you. It sounds like a bummer.
It sounds like it's not going to work, Jackie. $1,500.
I don't think so. Listen, $1,500 for the goggles is a lot. I have a lot of things I want to do in this world, in reality, that I haven't been able to do, that I'd prefer to spend my $1,500 on rather than going into virtual isolation. So, I mean, I still don't really understand this whole concept.
Yeah, Kennedy, just like go into the office. You don't need goggles to sit at home and pretend like you're in the office.
Go to the office, take a walk. We're tactile material creatures. Like, don't wall yourself off from the world. I think there's something wrong with it. Learn to surf. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, Emily.
It's frightening to me. I don't understand why these companies think that is evolution and that is accomplishment. When are they actually bettering society? No, that is a frightening concept, and it will have terrible ramifications.
It will. And finally, it turns out Texas Pete may not be so Texan. Who knew? The hot sauce company now faces a legal battle over the product, which is now actually made in the Lone Star State. A man filed a class action lawsuit after learning Texas Pete's is made in North Carolina. The suit claims the sauce makers, quote, capitalized on consumer desire to partake in the culture and authentic cuisine of one of the most prideful states in America. Emily, you're the attorney here, but I don't see any harm done to this man.
Yeah, but this is a common theme in a lot of lawsuits. We saw Kona Brewing Company sued as well for giving the appearance that they were brewed wholly or exclusively in Hawaii with the hula, whatever. And there's a verifiable claim to that because you have to be transparent. You have to be honest in your marketing practices. So they actually do have a claim here. Sorry to be annoying.
Kennedy, I mean, I just think this is crazy. Who has the time to sue because your Texas hot sauce wasn't from Texas?
What if his nickname is Texas Pete?
Right.
What if he's good at Texas Hold'em? Texas is a state of mind as much as anything else.
It is.
Who has the time? The same people who have the time to sue McDonald's because there's not enough chicken in the chicken nugget.
Right.
Yes.
Like, there's just always
Order the 9-piece, I say, Pete.
It's the plaintiff's bar.
Well, there's a 6. There's
a 10.
Yeah.
It's not
We'll get on
that. Was
that
back when we were kids.
Oh, mercy.
This is proof positive we live in too litigious of a society.
Absolutely. I think he made an assumption it was manufactured there. It doesn't necessarily have to be. What if the recipe came from Texas or whatever the case may be? So, you know, he could take Google, kind of see what's going on with the Texas branding there and maybe just ease up a little bit.
Sriracha hot sauce is still the best, and it's actually from that region of the world. It's not a misnomer.
I like Frank's.
Hey, haven't had that. I'll check it out. More Outnumbered in just a moment.
I'm a Chilean.